come on for class. I can't decide if my hair looks like I'm from the 1810s. Apart from this would be in a bun. But like the curly bits, I can't decide if I want to put a hat on it or not, like hide it. The hat in question matches my outfit though. I'm gonna bring the hat and decide later. It's currently 15 degrees outside. But see, I got my new one, my new phone, and it's in Celsius. I'll figure out how to change it later, but because everything's in Celsius here, I figured might as well keep it. So it's 15 degrees Celsius. I think that's about 50. I got my fingerprints done yesterday for the ARC code, or the ARC, the alien registration card. So I got that done, and then once I have that, which will be in about 4 weeks, about a month, I can get a SIM card for that phone. I'm here for a long time, like a whole year, so I don't really mind waiting a month to get that SIM card, so that it'll be easier to do things like open up a bank account, pay my rent without using Wise. Wise works really well though, in case you needed to transfer money to a place that doesn't have the same currency you do. There's a lot of things that you need a phone number for, like ordering food, just food things in general. Going out, you need to put in like a number, a Korean number, so I can do that. Services, in order to get delivery, I need to have an ARC, like a registration number. I don't know why, but I do. So having that would be nice. There's just a bunch of things that would be nice to have the number for that I don't currently have, because I don't have the card, because it's taken ages to get the card. Also, some people are only staying for a term and you're only just now getting the card. You leave in November. Like, what's the point of registering for the card other than you have to register for the card or face a fee? Like, you're only gonna be here for 2 days after you get the card anyway. I don't understand. Anyway, I gotta go to class. I have to write an essay. It's due tomorrow at 3:30. I have 200 words. It's supposed to be 1,500 words, so I got things to do. I have 208 words actually. So yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing. So, I took a shower. Now I'm gonna get back to writing the essay. I'm about halfway done with the essay. It's taking longer than I thought it would. So, the essay itself is fairly simple. I just have to compare and contrast two poems, which is like totally fine. However, the professor makes it so difficult because he has a right and wrong interpretation of poems, and poems don't have right or wrong answers. They're poems. At least that's my opinion. It's not his opinion, and I'm writing this poem for his, or this essay for his class, so it will be an experience. But I'm about 758 words in out of 1,500, so that's approximately halfway through. I have my intro, I have my Anne Bradstreet section, and I am working on my Phyllis Wheatley section. If I can make my Wheatley section as long as my Bradstreet section, then I should be good to go in terms of word count length that is required. And then I just have to, oh my god, then I just have to put something together for a conclusion, which is simple enough. So I think I can do it. I did the first part in 40 minutes. I'm setting another 40-minute timer. I work in segments of 40 minutes, but in between I got distracted by YouTube, and then I decided to take a shower to sort of reset myself. That's what's up. That's what I'm doing. I don't know if you can tell, but I can tell. The skincare routine that I have going here of just washing my face in the shower with like the one balm thing and then using this pH level moisturizing thing, it's doing wonders for my skin. I'm still scarring a lot though. Like, they haven't really gone away, but they're not irritated. They're just red. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if this new camera will let you see it, but they're there. Let's get to it. I'm 3 pages of this thing, and I am ready to be done. It's done. It is 1,600 words long, which is 500 more words, or 100 more words than I needed. Cutting it real close there. Yeah, it's like 5 pages long. I think it works. I don't know if he'll think it works, but you know, that's his problem, not mine. You can interpret poetry any way you like, as long as you can back it up with textual evidence, which I did. So yeah, I'm not turning it in now. I've sent it in an email to my mom so that she can look over it, because we love a proofreader. And it doesn't seem fair to send it to someone whose first language is not English to be a proofreader, because, well, most of the things that I'm worried about are like small grammar errors that aren't taught. They just aren't taught. You pick it up through speaking English. Not to say that their English is incorrect. In fact, their English might be even more correct than mine. It just, grammar and language is weird, and so all rules do not apply all the time. Because putting this into Grammarly and having Grammarly alter it, it doesn't work. Because Grammarly doesn't have the same... Grammarly is an AI. It doesn't have the same capacity for thought and comprehension that humans do, and so its understanding of this essay is not complete, and so it offers suggestions that don't make sense as a whole. Like in that one part of the sentence that it's looking at, that correction might make sense, but when you look at the whole sentence, it makes no sense. And I have a feeling a lot of the corrections I would get from non-native English speakers would be kind of similar, where the correction would make sense in a certain context, but not in the context that it's in. Some of the corrections might be, but you know, it's also, I don't want to push my essay on friends and be like, hey, read this for me. It's not their job. It's not my mom's job either, but like, she enjoys doing it. At least I think she does. She never says no, and I do ask her every time if it's okay. I'm done, and I leave in 45 minutes to go to class, so we made great time. I'll see you guys when I see you the next time. Maybe I have to speed write an essay. I'm sorry.
after that. Oh, ew. Bye. Goodbye. Look at all those chickens. Dinner.
That's a nice hike. That's a nice.
So you know the Russian guy who sings, right? There's a sound on Instagram Reels that has done a remix of it. And then, what is that? But and all I can imagine is the guy in his little silver suit just glitching out on the stage. You know, top 10 dumb things that have made me laugh. This one is excellent. Why is it asparagus and an egg instead of the sun? What is that? Why does it do that? Why does it do that? I was messing around with my phone to sort of like set up notification sounds. One, it comes with the and certain people will know that what that is. But also, should I make this the sound that happens? Not that my phone is ever on sound, but like if it might be. This is the sound for when someone texts me. What is that? We've got like, that's fun. Oh, it just ends right there? Oh, it should keep going. But no, this one is. Why? Promise I'm wearing pants. So now it's not even a problem. I haven't been using my planner as often as I probably should. I can tell because I feel rushed. But I think part of the reason why I'm not using it as often as I do back home is that I don't have all of the same products. I have these washi tapes and these two washi tapes and all of my stickers. But I don't know if you can see. These are all more muted than some of the ones, more springtime. I've been having a hard time finding things that are my aesthetic here. Most things are super, super cutesy. Not that Pig is from here. Pig and Arnold are from back home. Where's Arnold? Where is Arnold? Pig and Arnold are from back home. But everything else, like this is from here. It's more cutesy than I normally get. I struggled to find a neutral bed cover, so I have this brown one. When I went to like buy the brown ones, people were like, why are you buying brown? It's the most neutral thing I have. I don't want like bright pink. Anyway, I struggled hard enough to find more neutral tapes. So I think instead of trying to make the tapes work with my stickers, I need to make the stickers work with my tapes. Does that make sense? Like, I know what tapes I have, so I should use the stickers that work with those tapes. So I'm gonna set up all of next week and work from there, because I wanted to use all my Halloween stickers, but I just don't think that's in the cards. I don't think that the tapes that I have match the stickers that I want to use, and I think I shouldn't try to force it and should just save them for when I get home and I have the ones that I want to use. Because like my little skeletons aren't matching with any of my flower themed tapes. And there's no reason to try to force it because I'm just not going to be happy and look at the tapes that I'm using or the pages that I'm making because I don't like them. So yeah, I think we're just gonna skip over the Halloween stickers and just move on. It's such a weird, dumb thing to be like so invested in, but yeah, like these are gonna fit better. These flowers, these books, this tea set, these stickers are gonna work out better. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. A, I did laundry, so that's back there. B, I just finished my Korean history midterm. As you know, I've been studying for that one for a while now. By a while, I mean like a week. You've seen it. I think I got definitely a 60. Not to like subtle brag or anything. Actually, it's not even subtle. Not to brag or anything, but I think I got at least a 60, which means I think I passed. How well I passed, I don't know. The questions were vague. And one of the essay questions, all of them were, so there were 12 questions, 10 of them were short answers, so 2 to 3 sentences, and 2 of them were essay questions, so 2 to 3 paragraphs. One of the essay questions was the lecturer mentioned that one of the candidates for the outing, Namsan Mountain, is an area for dark tourism. Explain why, referencing the Japanese colonialization and 20th century dictatorship. Now, for you to understand exactly why this particular question got me, you'd have to understand the lecture. So far in the class, we have covered from 1st century BCE up until the 12th century CE Common Era. And you may be thinking, but Kat, didn't the Japanese occupation or colonialization, whatever you want to call it, happen in the 20th century? Well, yes it did. The part where the lecturer mentioned happened for about 5 minutes, that's 5 minutes, when we were discussing, well, he was talking about and we were listening. It's not really a discussion, but whatever, I digress. We were discussing the different places that we could go on the second field trip. The first field trip, we went to a palace, I vlogged it, it was a whole thing. We went to the secret garden, yada yada. I still need to do that write-up. Remember that, Kat, when you edit this, it'll be a separate reminder. When you watch it again to like double check things, it'll be a third reminder. So just, you've been reminded. Anyway, the day that we were discussing where to go for the second time, we went through 10 locations, and one of those locations was Namsan. And he mentioned that Namsan is popular for dark tourism. And then he spent maybe 2 minutes explaining why. Basically just saying, because of the Japanese occupation and the 20th century dictatorship, Namsan Tower is a good place for dark tourism, and we could learn a lot from it. That's all very well. But that's all you said. That's all you said. You didn't say why. You didn't say how. You didn't say who, what, where, or when. I mean, I guess technically you said who, Japanese, and when, 20th century, but that leaves a lot to be... There's a lot of questions still there. Why was that an essay question? Why was that a question at all on the test? The rest of it was like, why did this king have 29 wives and what problems did it cause? Like, that one's easy. 29 wives because he was marrying in order to connect all the wealthy families, and it was a problem because 29 wives produce a lot of children if you're sleeping with all of them, which he was. And when you have a lot of children and you're the king, there's a lot of complications when it comes to who is the heir for the throne. And you know what? There's a lot of people who want to kill you because they are the next line in heir in line of the throne. So that one was easy. The why learn about history, that one was easy. Why do Korean nationalists and foreign historians disagree? That one's easy. By the way, that one is because foreign historians require archaeological evidence to back up the secondary textual evidence that we have, whereas Korean nationalists see the secondary writings and myths as being creation stories, so they date Korea farther back than historians would. And there was another question about why historians don't date Korea as far back as the population on Korea has been there. The Korean peninsula has been populated, and that one's also fairly easy. It's the same reason why the United States of America goes to, this might be a bad example, but goes to 1776, but that's because that's when it was a unified group that then expanded. But they don't count the tribal nations of the land mass that is the United States or that is America as being one people, because they weren't. They were a bunch of different tribes, so it was a whole different thing. They're Americans because they're on the landmass America, but they aren't United States of Americans because they weren't a solid people. Same concept applies to the people on Korea. Before the unified three kingdoms, which I think is Goryeo period, there were three kingdoms, and then there were, before that, a bunch of different states, and then before that there were a bunch of different tribes. Tribes combined and consolidated into a bunch of different states. The states consolidated into three tribes, or three kingdoms, and then the three kingdoms eventually became unified into one. From a historian standpoint, for continuity purposes, that is when the people of Korea come into existence. That's how far back you can trace Koreans as we define them today. That doesn't mean the people who lived on the Korean peninsula didn't exist, or that you can't trace back to all the way back there, your heritage or whatever. It just means that how we define Korean people today is dependent on the unification of the people. Because the states and the tribes and the kingdoms, they all had different cultures. They had different languages. You can kind of hear the difference in the languages when you listen to the dialects, but they're different. So anyway, that was my test, and I think I did okay. Like I said, I think I got at least 60. I'll be really disappointed if I got less than 60. And I'll be really excited if I got more than 60. If I get just straight 60, I'll be impressed at my ability to recognize my effort. Anyway, I don't know how I could have studied harder for this test because it was so vague. All of the questions were vague. It was an open-ended test. And there isn't really a book. Like, he's referencing a book, and so I'm reading that book. And I go to all the lectures, but there's not really solid things to study. So I don't know how I could have done any better. Maybe focusing on studying more than just the week beforehand. That's on me. I forgot that the midterm was coming up. I have another midterm to study for. I have a midterm in American poetry on the 31st of October, which I think is next week. Let me double check that. Yes, which is next Monday. So I will be studying for that, so you'll probably also see that. But once again, I'm not sure how much I can study for that because it's a literature exam. So I think my best bet is to list all of the poets, list all of the poems that those poets have written that we studied, and then sort of give a summary of the poet's biography, and then a summary of the poem itself, like the storyline, the literary devices that the poem uses, and any themes that are in the poem, and sort of just break it down like that. There's only 7 poets. I think there's something like 48 poems, I think. So just by going through everything and summarizing it in that way, I will have studied, and then I will have that sheet that I've summarized everything on as a sort of study guide if I want to review. That's my plan anyway. So I'm going to Nami Island this weekend, and then hopefully I'm going hiking on Friday. Fingers crossed. I'm thinking about getting hiking boots because the shoes that I have aren't exactly great for hiking. I think I'll be getting those tomorrow. And oh, I get my Letterman jacket, or they call them baseball jackets here. I'm getting that tomorrow before class. I'm excited. I got the sweatshirt. I ordered the sweatshirt and the jacket at the same time. I got the sweatshirt. It has the SNU logo on it, and I'm getting the jacket tomorrow. And hopefully next week there will be a fleece in my size with the SNU. It's a nice fleece. It's full zip. It's got pockets. It's got a drawstring at the bottom to keep you warm. And here's the thing. I thought I'd have enough layers. I do not have enough layers. I am cold. I am wearing thermal underwear under all of my clothes. Cold. I got a pair of jeans that is loose so I can wear my thermal pants underneath my jeans, which is really useful. And then I got a pair of boots that keeps my feet warm and I can wear wool socks underneath. But those boots I can't go hiking in either, so there's that. I don't know how I'm gonna bring all of this home. I mean, the boots that I bought are fairly cheap, so if they break down, which is not how I normally buy things, but in this situation, it's how I bought things. So if those boots break down, then I don't have to take them home. That's what I'm doing. I'll see you guys when I see you. I just felt like chatting. I chatted for a long time. I'm gonna hate editing this. These ones are weird to me. They're like slippers, but also sneakers. We've beat you. Haha. How far zoomed can I go in? Whoa!
Could you recognize something, or is it just a blur?
It's kind of just a blur, but I don't know. I can recognize that those are buildings.
Yeah, it's a really good blur.
It's a better blur than what I had before. Wow.
Oh, that's impressive.
How'd they get the skateboard up? How? This would be a nice place for a picnic.
Is it just a ball of hair?
Yeah, I think so.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
It's huge. How is it?